Hello everyone, this is MC Deck Discussions and I'm Abi Small, and today we have another demo play. And for those who don't know what a demo play is, I show a first round of the game after sharing the deck and setting up the villain, and then I pause the video and then come back later after things have gone further so that we can have more of a setup and get a chance to really see what the deck can do. So today we are playing against Expert Iron Man, and we're doing Aggression Tigra up against him. And the first one, actually, I played him against in Standard, first time I've ever played against Iron Man, and it was pretty challenging. When I share the deck, I'll share what actually saved me a couple of times from defeat, but I did end up pulling it out. So this is my first time ever playing against Expert Iron Man with any hero. All right, so let's get the setup. So again, I'll have timestamps per usual, and so if you want to skip this setup, you can. Whatever makes sense for you to skip. If you read down a bit, you see in cooperative mode, find the chosen leader side scheme and reveal it. So let's do that. So side scheme, and where are you? There it is, Stark Tower. So shuffle that back up. So you can see Stark Tower has the extra icon on it there, so he gets an extra encounter card. And when defeated, the enemy team searches the encounter deck and discard pile for an Iron Man attachment, and your team reveals it. So the enemy team, meaning not me, chooses it. And to me, it looked like all of them are relatively about the same awfulness. They're all pretty bad. And so I just do it randomly. I just choose the very first one that I come on. So the very first Iron Man attachment is what I use, because I didn't see any that looks particularly bad, which are the ones that I would have chosen. So I just choose it randomly, the very first one. And then let's flip this over. And you can see as a forced interrupt, when a player reveals a treachery, place one threat here. That is limit once per phase, per player. And then Iron Man gets +1 scheme for each tech attachment on him to a maximum of +3 scheme. So at least in stage 3 here, he can get up to 4 scheme then with that alone. And he has 2 attack. And then his setup, the enemy team searches the encounter deck for an Iron Man attachment and your team reveals it. So similar deal to the Stark Tower situation. So I am going to just randomly pick one just based on that I just shuffled the deck. So I'm going to find the first attachment that is an Iron Man attachment. So let's click on attachments, and the very first one, I should make sure it's Iron, well, clearly that's Iron Man. Okay. But you can see it says Iron Man at the bottom. So Mark 5 helmet, armor and tech, attached to Iron Man, give him a tough status. So let's do that right away. Okay. And then Iron Man gains Stalwart, so for now he has Stalwart. Interestingly enough, that actually gave me some real troubles in my first game. I couldn't get a chance to get rid of it with this hero response. After you make a basic attack against Iron Man, spend a mental and a physical resource, discard this card. I got rid of some other attachments, but that's actually stayed on there the entire game. I was never able to, even though I have some not stunning, but confusing in this deck, I never got a chance to use it because I never actually got rid of that. So that was kind of problematic. I was getting overwhelmed a bit by trying to get rid of these pretty frequently. We'll see if that occurs in this game as well or not. All right, shuffled that back up. All right, so that's it for the setup. Yes, that's it for the setup. So let's go ahead and show you the deck now, and then we'll come back and get started on the demo play. All right, so this is, again, a Tigra deck, Aggression, 42 cards, and it's called Drawn to the Smell of Blood. That's to go with the idea that there's actually a fair amount of card draw in this deck, and that the smell of blood, the whole hunted thing going on with her, using her hunted cards to get enemies out, to get minions out. All right, so let's go ahead and quickly go through the deck. We have, for our allies, we have Brawn, Bug, and I'll just pause briefly on each one, and you can pause the deck if you don't know what any of these particular ones do. We have Bug, Professor X, Psylocke. Those two are meant to be, so they can confuse the villain. Spider-Girl, Throg, Two-Gun Kid, Winter Soldier, and Yellow Jacket. And then for our events, this is where we get some of the extra card draw. We have 3 copies of Bring It, where you can draw 1 card for each minion engaged with you. And this deck is actually the first deck I've used Bring It in. Like, even all these years I've played, this is the first deck I've ever done that. 1 copy of Face the Past, and 3 copies of Press the Advantage that deal, they have a hero action for an attack, deal 2 damage to an enemy. If that enemy is stunned or confused, draw 1 card. So, of course, with Hunted and some other features here, we expect to have that happen somewhat frequently. So we can take advantage of that too. So that's where all the card draw is from the events in this deck. I did limit myself to not having the usual, like any kind of cards, any kind of allies that could draw cards in the deck. So that was a part of my own personal limitation when building this. Also have Keep Up the Pressure as the player's side scheme to be able to possibly get an attack event at will. And then we have the usual double resources, all 3 of them. And then for the support, we have a Quinn Carrier. And then for our upgrades, we have 1 copy of Aggressive Conditioning to give 1 more attack plus 3 more hit points. 3 copies of Aggressive Stance, where this is another card. Actually, Aggressive Conditioning, first time ever that's been in a deck for me. Aggressive Stance, first time ever this has been in a deck for me. So 3 copies of this. Max 1 per player, a preparation. After you engage a minion, discard this card, search your deck for an attack event, and add it to your hand. And then 1 copy of Blood Rage, another card that is the first time ever in a deck for me. So max 1 per player, and there's only 1 copy. After you defeat an enemy with a basic attack, exhaust Blood Rage and take 1 damage, draw 1 card. So some games I get that in, some games I don't. And then 1 copy of Deft Focus. All right, so there's the deck. And let's go ahead and head back to not the villain, but the leader in this case. All right, so let's go ahead and draw up our hand. And we have Moon Knight, Yellow Jacket, Bug. Oh, Cat's Head Amulet, nice. So we can get that in play right away. Spider-Girl and Bring It. So do I want to just hold on to what I have? Okay, yes, I'm just going to keep what I have here. So let's go ahead and use Greer Nelson's Alter Ego ability, action, search your deck and discard pile for a copy of Hunted. The ability is called Undercover Work. Search your deck and discard pile for a copy of Hunted, add it to your hand, limit once per round. So let's go grab Hunted from out of our deck. Start spelling Hunted, there we go. All right, so we'll get that into hand and we'll shuffle it up. And I'm just gonna go ahead and flip over and we'll use Hunted right away to go ahead and grab one of these minions. So this deck, you'll notice that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 possible minions. Oh, actually, I forgot. I do want to stay in Alter Ego side. So you'll see why in just a little bit. All right, so I'm going to go with Hellcat here initially, who notice has Quick Strike. So let's go ahead and look at Hunted for the first time. As an additional cost to play this upgrade, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a minion. Put it into play, engage with you, attach Hunted to that minion, and stun it. So the Quick Strike does not trigger since we're in Alter Ego side. And we will now stun her. Note that it has an interrupt as well, Hunted does, when attached minion is defeated, ready Tigra. And then because it is put into play, the when revealed does not trigger either. You're welcome to read that if you'd like. And then let's go ahead and shuffle that back up, although we're going to be back in just a sec because we are going to also play Moon Knight. All right, and I'm going to use Yellow Jacket to play Moon Knight. And then Moon Knight, after Moon Knight enters play, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a minion, put it into play, engage with you, stun, and confuse that minion. So let's go ahead and look at the minions again. And this one, let's see, Bullseye, I think. Yes, because this one, if it's when revealed, the enemy team discards an attachment from your leader. Otherwise, discard an upgrade you control. So we would discard an upgrade that The enemy discards an attachment from your leader. Okay, right. Otherwise, discard an upgrade you control. So we would discard an upgrade we control. So I would rather have that before we have any upgrades out, especially Cat's Head Amulet. And so that will not trigger because, again, Moon Knight's ability, so let's shuffle that back up, after it is to put that minion into play. So again, when revealed does not trigger. So we will stun and confuse that minion. All right, now let's go ahead and flip to our hero side. Oops, I keep pressing the wrong button. Try that again. Okay, so now I'd like to get Cat's Head Amulet into play. But first, let's use Bring It. 0 cost event, max 1 per phase, hero action, draw 1 card for each minion engaged with you. So let's play that card here. We have 2 minions, so we will draw 2 cards. And that is super nice. All right, discard that event. So let's go ahead and use one of these doubles to play Cat's Head Amulet. And now this is worth a double resource. So, kind of a waste right now. But, all right, let's go ahead and get use it as a double to get Bug into play. And then this is interesting. I think I might keep Spider Girl because I might want to keep these guys, one of these stunned and confused, a second round to continue to benefit from them and just set up our next round well, especially because we're going to be able to get rid of Stark Tower here. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to use Moon Knight, 2 thwart to get rid of 2 threat from here. And then we'll go ahead and use Bug, thwarting for 1. And then now, when defeated, the enemy team searches the encounter deck and discard pile for an Iron Man attachment, and your team reveals it. So as I said before, I'm just going to pick the first random attachment that qualifies. So it does have to be an Iron Man attachment, and this first one is. So now, in addition to our first one, remember Iron Man currently has Stalwart. And then the second one, let's see, when Iron Man would take any amount of damage, place it here instead. Then if there is at least 5 damage here, discard this card. Note that Iron Man, let's shuffle that up. Note that Iron Man has a tough status. That tough status does take first priority. So that's what I have to get rid of first. And then we can start putting damage onto here. All right. But let's go ahead and, and now we can get rid of Stark Tower. And then I am going to go ahead and attack with Tigra and get rid of the tough to begin with here. And that tough, remember, came from the Mark V helmet. And we currently have the Mark V armor on. All right, let's go ahead and, I'm going to go ahead and ready up and draw our hand size. And then we will show the villain's turn, or in this case, the leader's turn. And then that's when I usually pause the recording and then we come back later. All right. But as you can see, so you can see what I'll be doing next turn. Clearly, I'm going to be able to get Quinn Carrier out on my next turn. I'm going to get I should be able to get some card draw because of these at least 2 minions out. So we'll be getting set up pretty nicely for our second turn. A lot better than the first game I played. All right. So let's add 1 threat to the main scheme. And Iron Man is going to attack for 2 with a boost card. And, I know what I forgot to do. Let me put a little marker on Bug. So Bug has a hero response. After a hero makes a basic attack, heal 1 damage from Bug. I did make a basic attack, and so Bug has just 1, is now healed up all the way. All right, we're going to just take this damage. So we're getting attacked for... we have 10 hit points, getting attacked for 2, plus 2 more is 4. So we go from 10 down to 6. Discard that boost card, and then get rid of each stunned here, and then get at one of these. And let's see what we have. It is a treachery, so right away we're going to trigger this Forced Interrupt and put a threat here. Place 4 threat on each side scheme. We already got rid of that side scheme. So discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until side scheme is revealed and reveal that side scheme. So let's see what we get as we discard cards. By the way, if you just hit the X key, it'll discard a card. So we're going to discard till we get a side scheme. here we go. So let's see what we have. All right, so let's get rid of that. All right, so it has hinder 1, so instead of 3, it comes with 4 counters, and it has this when defeated. So let me put an extra marker on it for myself. The player who defeated this side scheme deals 1 damage to each character they control and each minion engaged with them. Oh, interesting. All right. And notice that he will, if I leave this out, he will get an extra encounter card. All right. So that's it for now. I'm going to pause the game. Clearly, I'm going to plan on getting Quinn Carrier out at this point, and Cat-like Reflexes and Spider Girl. I think we'll be able to get all those, and we'll draw a couple of cards. I'll at least let you see what cards we draw. So let's go ahead and check that out. So we drew into a Feline Senses, which is a pretty nice draw right here with that card out. And we also drew into a Keep Up the Pressure, which we might also get into play, but not necessarily use right away. All right, so that's it. I'm going to pause. We'll be back later, hopefully with things built out a bit more, and show the rest of the game, at the end of the game, final rounds of the game, rounds. Okay, we'll see you in a bit. Okay, this looks like an interesting place. Let me go ahead and update you on the board state, and then we'll continue playing. It is Iron Man's turn, and we're still on the first main phase. He currently has 1 attachment, Powered Gauntlets, that gives him +1 ATK and ranged. He also has 3 minions out. All 3 of them are currently stunned. 1 of them also confused, and 2 of them have hunted on them as well. And then there are 2 encounter cards already out. And then getting ready to be revealed on his turn. And then on my side, I do have a Cat-like Reflexes to prevent 3 damage, and then confuse a minion engaged with me after I prevent that. So that's what can happen anytime I take any amount of damage for whatever reason, and then I can discard it. And then Keep Up the Pressure. If I trigger that, when defeated, each player may search their deck and discard pile for an attack event and add it to their hand. Until the end of the phase, each attack event deals 1 additional damage. And then you can see we still have 10 hit points left. I just defeated Iron Man on the other side, so he has 20 hit points. And once he, got to the side, we dealt an encounter card, but also you couldn't take any more damage after that. So this coming round is when I can deal the damage. I also have Bug, Moon Knight, and Yellow Jacket out, so 3 allies out. And then 1 copy of Sharp Claws. We have Cat's Head Amulet, Quinn Carrier, Deaf Focus, and Precinct HQ. And the cards in hand, Two Gun Kid, Tooth and Claw, Bring It, Feline Senses, and Throg. All right, let's get started with Iron Man's turn. Let's add 1 threat to the main scheme. And Iron Man's going to attack. Let's get him a boost card. So he's attacking for 4 damage. And I think we will go ahead and take that damage. So it's, he gets this additional card. Let's see what it is. So it says boost, reveal this card. So it's actually 1 more damage. So 3, 4, 5 damage. So, but we're going to prevent 3 of that. Let me read the rest of this card first. Iron Man gains the aerial trait. He'll respond after you make a basic attack against Iron Man. Oh yeah, then we can make it discard. All right. Okay, so we're going to prevent 3 of that 5 damage, and then confuse a minion engaged with us. So let's go ahead and confuse Hellcat. All right, so we still take 2 damage. And then let's deal another encounter card and reveal all 3 of these. First the minions go, and we remove the stun counter from each of those instead of them attacking. And they could attack. I don't know if I've had that card yet that allows minions to attack. That allows all the enemies to attack. I don't remember seeing that yet, so let's see what we get. All right, gang up. That's the one. The villain and each minion engaged with you attacks you. Okay, pretty bad one. That is the first treachery revealed, so we do put 1 threat on the main scheme due to that. And then let's get a boost card out, and we're going to go ahead and defend with Bug from Iron Man's attack. He's attacking for 3, 4, 5. He has aerial and ranged. And then 1 more, so 6 damage, taking out Bug. And then Hellcat attacks for 2. We will take that hit. Bullseye attacks for 2. We'll take that hit. And then this one, I don't think we're going to take. We're going to defend with Yellow Jacket just to be safe. So, because he does have Steady and Villainous. Okay. Oh, he has Steady. He should have attacked before. My bad. I forgot that he had Steady. So he had a stun on him, right? He had a stun on him, but that did not impact him. He still should have attacked. So I would have blocked that one here, actually. So let's do that attack first. All right, so that would have been 1, 2, 3 damage. Okay, and then now he's attacking again, still has the stun on him, right? Now he's attacking again, the boost card, and we're just going to defend for ourselves. So he's attacking for 1, 2, 3. Okay, and we defend for 3, so we defended all of that. All right, that gets rid of only the first card. But at least that's the worst one. Let's see what we get next. The villain attacks again. Okay. Piling it on. He's attacking for 3, 4, 5. Wow, if we get another one of those. Let's go ahead and defend with Moon Knight. So 5, flip that over. 6, 7 damage. Last one, advance the villain scheme. So that one we can handle. Now he does have 2 attachments that are tech attachments. So this ability here, let me get an extra marker on him. So he has Steady, first of all, right? And when revealed, deal each player an encounter card. Iron Man cannot take damage. Iron Man gets +1 scheme for each tech attached on him, up to 3. So he's getting thwarting for 3, plus this boost card is the other advanced. Okay, so he adds 3 to the main scheme. And finally, the barrage is over. Moon Knight was defeated, but helped us out. All right, so now it's our turn. So now Tigra's ability on the hunt triggers. After the player phase begins, draw 1 card for each minion engaged with you to a maximum of 3. So we have 2 engaged with us. We will draw 2 cards. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and play Bring It right away. And that will draw us... Oh, hold on. I drew just 2 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I drew 2 cards, but I actually have 3 minions. So draw 3 cards. Okay. All right, and then we will play Bring It, and that will draw us 3 more cards. So 1, 2, 3 more cards. All right. Okay, and I think the first thing we're going to do, we have 3 facing us. All right, let's go ahead and use Cat's Head Amulet to play Two Gun Kid. So it's worth 3 physical resources since we have 3 minions facing us. Okay. All right. And then let's go ahead and play Feline Senses. We're going to use Quinn Carrier and Deft Focus. It does have a superpower, so we can use Deft Focus to reduce the cost. So we will play that, and we will get rid of the 2 threat on Keep Up the Pressure. And Keep Up the Pressure, let me just finish off this card real quickly. If this removes the last threat from the scheme, stun a minion, so I'll just stun a minion. We'll stun the Hood the rest of the way, I guess. Okay. Now he's fully stunned for once. Okay. All right, so stun a minion. And now Keep Up the Pressure. So we can find our deck and discard pile for an attack event, add it to our hand, and then shuffle the deck if it needs to be until the end of the phase. Each attack event deals 1 additional damage. All right, so let's go ahead and get our big one. So let's see, look for our events, and here it is, Tooth and Claw. I'm not going to have room for it in my hand. Let's see, so let me just stick it here temporarily. Okay, and then we don't shuffle that. That's the discard pile I was in. Okay, and we can play this card. I'm going to play it right away so I can get rid of it being here. So there are 3 minions out, so that reduces the cost of this to just 1 because we reduce it by 1 for each minion engaged with us. Deal 4 damage to an enemy, deal 4 damage. But we're going to increase that attack event, deals 1 additional damage. So we're going to deal 5 and 4 or 5 and 5? Hold on a sec. All right, I think I'm interpreting this correctly. So it says each attack event deals 1 additional damage. So the event deals 1 additional damage, which means every instance deals 1 extra damage. So it should be 5 and 5, which means we're all set up to win this game right now. So I just need to play one. It only costs 1, so I'm going to pay with aggressive stance. And I'm going to do this attack event. So 5 damage and 5 damage to Iron Man. So that's a total of 10. Bring him down from 20 down to 10. Okay. And then we might as well count the total damage we end up doing here. Okay. And then we can do that again with this Tooth and Claw. So let's pay with another aggressive stance. And do that again with this Tooth and Claw. So that deals 4 damage and 4 damage. So that's, again, 5 and 5 due to keep up the pressures of triggering here. So that's, again, total of 10 down to 0. So that's 20 points of damage. Now let's track the total damage we're going to do here. So that makes 20. Okay. All right. And then what we might as well do is attack with Two Gun Kid. And we're going to do 2 of his attack against Hellcat and 2 of his attack against Iron Man. So now we're up to 22 damage. So Two Gun Kid, for those who don't know, has this interrupt. When Two Gun Kid makes a basic attack, choose 2 enemies instead of 1 and resolve this attack against each of them. All right, and then let's go ahead and use press the advantage. So we will go ahead and pay with aggressive stance for press the advantage. And we're going to put that up against Hellcat, who already has 2 damage on her, triggering this hunted, readying Tigra, and Tigra is going to attack. By the way, Tigra has 2 attack, and then we have aggressive conditioning, making it 3 attack, and then we have sharp claws, which will make it 4. So we're going to attack for 4 damage, so 22 up to 26 now. Okay. And that Hellcat had been, confused. So we also get to draw a card for that. All right. And then we can then play another, let's see, with Throg, we can press the advantage again, this time against Bullseye, who already has 2 damage. So that's enough to defeat him. That time Bullseye was not impacted, so press the advantage. Does ready Tigra because of the ability of Hunted, but it does not draw us a card, which is too bad. We could have had a chance to play Winter Soldier as well. And so we will attack for 3 more damage, so 2 points plus the aggressive conditioning for a total of 29 points of damage. So there it is. So I hope you enjoyed this demonstration play. You got to see a lot of features of the card draw in the game, both from Tigra as well as from Bring It. So we got to demonstrate that a little bit. And so that's one of the main features of the deck that makes it fun. And could see the interaction of Deft Focus and Quinn Carrier and Cat's Head Amulet with all of those. And we only had 1 copy of Sharp Claws out, but that was working well, and got to see aggressive conditioning in play too. So again, hope you enjoyed the demo play there, and we'll catch you in the next one. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. And I love having conversations with people in the comments section. Have a great one, everybody.